just another day at the office. Because I raced so hard in 2003, 4, 5 in the US and Mexico. I mean, I was at every event that you could go to. Started slowing down, trying to work on building the business instead of money flying out the door, buying tires and hotel rooms. Some guys came back into the shop, that is, working with me and insisted that I start racing again. So just looking at the trophy shelf, hey, how come you don't do that anymore? Looks like you were pretty good at it, and let's go racing. You know, we do it together, and say, yeah, okay, let's go play. And take everybody along that I can with me. Road racing, it's like 3D chess. It's only about your performance with respect to the guys around you. You're watching the track, the conditions of the track. Is there dirt or rocks? Watching your corner workers, you're watching your gauges, you're watching your mirrors, understeer, oversteer, wheel spin. Plus you're reading the car in front of you, your opponent. Road racing is all about two things, taking positions and defending them. What did he just do going into that turn? Did he understeer? Do I sense a weakness in his performance that I can capitalize on? He's cresting that hill right there and he's oversteering and getting some wheel spin. But I'm gonna try to cut a little bit better line, maybe a little more conservative, get on the throttle sooner, and see if I can capitalize on that. You're doing a million computations a second and you're just trying to take positions and hang on to them. I did have a big hand in the growth of the class. In 2003, I bought my car for my first event locally at March, Cal Speedway 2003. I was the only one there. We already had this class, that class, and here's a brand new one. I'm gonna be the series director. If you got any questions about it, bring it on. We just started making phone calls, getting on the chat groups, websites, wherever I could to spread the word about this new class that was such a breath of fresh air compared to the other wallet racing classes, I call them. The very next year at the same event, we went from 1 car to 11 cars. We had a bunch of bright colored 944s and 924Ss. So I called it the Flying Circus. The class sells itself. I was just the cheerleader, pretty loud cheerleader, but it's real rewarding to see where the class is at now, all the way across the country. How was it? God, that's fun. That is so much fun. I shouldn't have never stopped doing it. But now we're on the comeback trail. Nailed the yellow car coming out of turn 1. We've built a really cool community centered on the class. This class is different. We have a really unique culture, not in the aspects, but I think in the level of the aspects of it, in that there's a super sense of camaraderie, of teaching, learning, sharing assets, having meals together. It's a big brotherhood, and we've tried hard to steer the culture in that direction and keep it going in that direction. We don't slice each other's tires in the paddock and crash into each other on the track. Hey, you need spark plugs? Tough. You're not gonna get them. I'm gonna beat you in the paddock instead of on the racetrack. It's not like that at all. It's a really heavy emphasis on teamwork, cooperation. We realize the more people we have on the track at the same time and up to speed, the more fun it is for everybody. You should see it in the paddock. When a car goes down, for whatever reason, we swarm on it. And there's guys coming from different directions with tools, with parts, with know-how, and we usually can get a car up and running by the next track session. 944 spec, it's the best class I've ever come across. Trouble, and double trouble.
I've got a question for you, Tim.
Uh-oh.
Do you think that they would let me drive my F-350 on the track?
No. I thought you were bullshitting me earlier.
What, as a tow vehicle? What the fuck are you talking about?
No, as a race recovery? Car. As a race car.
No, just go right off the end of turn 1 and skip right over to turn 3.
That's what I was thinking.
Exactly, yeah.
Cut turn 2 right out.
Sure, which area you could get coming over 4.
Take the truck out and just go right down the middle, cut the truck.
I spent most of my time as a kid, the formative years in the woods in Maine, being out in the woods and lakes and streams, rivers. You know, I was hiking all over the place, hunting and fishing, and I loved it. I'm more comfortable in the woods with a knife than I am in a big city. And then I joined the Navy when I was 18, and there's not much need or room for a car on an aircraft carrier. Came back and paid more attention to the 911s here in San Diego, and I said, no, gotta have one of those. Ripe old age of 22, I bought my first car, which was a 76 911S Porsche Targa. If you'd asked me about that, being a boy from the woods in Maine, you know, when I was 18, it's like another world. You know, how could that be? And now I own a shop that works on Porsches. Since that first introduction to the car, to Porsches, I managed a motorsports store. I worked at the Porsche dealership. I worked at another shop a couple times briefly, but I've always been around and always come back to Porsches and Porsche racing. If you really love something, the only way to enjoy it more is to do it with other people.
I came into this group feeling as very much of like, I know nothing. I'm a newbie.
Pretty much if you own a 944, you own it because you want to be part of the community.
You roll up in a 944 and you're there with them on the racetrack, you're welcomed and a part of the group.
This guy's rolling up in a 944. He's an underdog like us.
It's like a campfire. People come together around these cars.
And you have your butt heads and stuff that don't want to help, or they're smart asses, and that goes for any kind of car platform. But I think the best thing about the 944 community is the vastness that it holds. And I think that's partly due to because of the Porsche brand is so strong.
There's lots of people that share the passion for these cool little sports cars.
Getting a Porsche 944 has definitely changed my life significantly. I got back on the racetrack. I had to kind of relearn a lot of the things that I once knew about working on cars. The guys that were here hanging around the last year know that I spent a lot of time here and helping out around the shop. I really enjoyed being a student, and I really enjoy teaching. They go hand in hand. That kind of, you know, growing as a team is really important.
It doesn't need to be perfect for you to enjoy it. I am constantly having this battle with myself. Oh, my alignment's a little off, the wheel's a little crooked. Tim had a very good point of it's not so much about how the car looks on the outside, it's how it feels when you're behind the wheel. I think for me, that was one of the greatest lessons that I could have heard.
Growing in value, they're growing in popularity. The 80s across the board are growing in popularity.
They can be money pits, but they'll probably be one of the most fun money pits you'll ever have, especially if you're putting it towards learning how to drive the car.
Yeah, they are all money pits. They're also, I think, could be good investments. It depends on how you look at it. If you're looking to buy a 944, especially if you're in Southern California, you should definitely call Mr. Tim Como. We'll do our best to help you out because we want to see the cars on the road.
It's more complex than just me coming back. That's not the goal. It's about me coming back to what I really, really love doing and bringing as many people as possible with me. Because again, it's about sharing that passion thing. If you like something, do it and share it.
I lied though, there's just as many bugs down here.
Yeah, down there, of course.
Raising awareness for not only the Porsche 944, but also the road racing, the fun that is, and yes, you can afford it. Motorsports, performance driving is a blast from the get-go. It's a good time, even if you're scaring yourself. I hope to introduce as many people as I can that are street driving 944 owners, bring them with me and take them to the racetrack. Through social media, through live streaming, drivers meetings at a shop, and we grow all these new Porsche 944 sports car drivers. That's what the comeback is about, showing people what I did and bringing them along this time.
Look at this guy looking at you. Looking at me, looking at this guy.
This is Timmy's Redneck Racing Simulator.
Driving a Porsche 944 is probably the most fun thing you'll ever do.
I'm happy just to be here. I never thought I'd get to learn any of this stuff at the scale or level that this is, working on race cars. To be able to say that I am a part of the team at the shop, I think is just so worth it for me. And to be able to help Tim kind of reach his own goals with social media stuff and hopefully building these cooler cars that he wants to build, I thought that's where the value is for me.
Sorry, I totally looked at the camera. Let me do that again.
My name is Ian Sierra.
Hi, my name's Scott Shaver.
My name is Tim Camo.
And I have a 944S2, 1989 944S2.
And I own 5 Porsche 944 types. I don't have a problem, I swear.
To help you have fun with your 944, enjoy it as much as possible. That's my purpose for being here, running Camo Racing Enterprises.